morning students. I am very happy to meet you through this video program as arranged by our Honorable Correspondent of Sri Vidyamandir Metric Higher Secondary School, Uttangare, Krishnagiri District. I am D. Umadevi, MA B.Ed English, MCS MPhil in Commerce. Dear students, welcome to 7th Symmetry English. Today I will be going to teach first term, first unit, first prose, Eidgah. This lesson is about Muslim festival. Before going to our lesson, I want to tell a few things about festival. Usually, students all will like to celebrate festivals. Is it or not? Everyone will be eagerly waiting to celebrate festivals. Festivals are usually celebrated to preserve culture, heritage, and to promote harmony among people. There are different kinds of festivals are celebrated by all the religions and the worldwide. So during festivals, we should be happy and we should make others also happy. Eidgah is a Muslim festival. That is, Eid is a festival which is celebrated next day of the last day of the Ramzan month in order to break their fastings, because they will be under the fastings from daybreak to dusk. So the next day everyone will be early up and they were more excited to celebrate the festival. Their Eidgah months, it refers as a mosque where the Muslim people gather and do their mosque prayer there. Now Eidgah lesson is written by our poet, lesson name, that is Munshi Premchand. Munshi Premchand, this is a pen name. His original name was Dhanapad Roy Srivastava. Its period is between 1880 to 1936. He is famous for Hindi Urdu writing. He is one of the earliest 20th century Indian poet. He has been referred as Upanya Samrat. It means Emperor of Writers. He has written a dozen of the poems, 250 short stories, several essays, and he translated many foreign literary works into Hindi. He has been celebrated as Eidgah. He is telling about Eidgah festival here in 3 sections. This lesson is split into 3 sections. Now we will be going to see about the gist of the story. Before that, I have to tell the characters of this story. Characters means Mahmud, Mohsin, Noore, Sami and Amina is a granny. Now let us go to the story. In the morning, people will be more excited. They wake up earlier to go to the Eidgah mosque. During the day, the trees looked greener and the fields were more festive, and the sun had a green pinky glow. The sun seemed more dazzling and brighter than before. The village people were more excited, and then boys of that village were more excited and they were waiting for this fully fun day. Next, they counted their treasure, and from their take their treasure out of the packets, count and recount and put it back into their pockets. Mahmud had 12 coins and Mohsin had 15 coins. Out of these coins, they can buy countless toys. And our hero of this lesson was 4-year-old boy Hamid. He was poorest boy and was thin, pale, orphan boy. He was left by his old granny Amina because his father had died last year because of cholera. Even his mother also died. She usually tells his grandson that his father went out to buy sacks full of silver, and his mother also gone to God Allah to buy and come valuable and beautiful gifts for him. So this boy is as happy as a lark. He usually don't bother about all other things of other boys' house. Now during that Eid day, his granny had not even had a handful of grains to cook. She was always worrying about his grandchild because all the boys of that village are going to the Eidgah mosque, which is situated in the 3 kilometers away from their village, in the town. They are going along with their father. But Hamid had no father to take care of him. But Hamid tells her grandmother that he will be back soon. And then he started to go along with that boys. He was running while other boys are walking. As if he had wings on his feet. He runs on the road and he waits under the tree. After that, they reached the suburbs of the town. There, on both sides of the road, there are so big buildings are there in the town. Having many trees like mango, lychee trees are in their garden. At last, they reached the Eidgah mosque. By this, first section is over. Now, let us see section 2. It is about the fair. About the fair and about the streets of the fair. There, all the people gathered. The village roads had began to be crowded. All the people arrived there by tongas, ecas and by motor cars, by wearing perfumes. Here I want to tell one thing. Tongas and ecas means the olden days. This chariot has been used by the olden people. That is a carriage by horse. So they used this carriage and filled the roads of the fair of the Eidgah mosque. The boys looked at everything in the town wonderful because they were village boys. There in the mosque, the boys were looking all the things, shops in the streets filled. Next year, inside the mosque, all the Muslim people worshipped there by row upon row in a very well disciplined manner. After that prayer, the persons, everyone came out and they exchanged their greetings and embraced each other. Next, it is the time to go for the purchasing. First, they started to go merry-go-round. In olden days, they are used. The boys were very happy to go to climb that merry-go-round. And here, for 1 paisa, it takes 25 rounds. So they climbed up. But our Hamid had only 3 paisa in his pocket, just sitting from a distance and looked at these things from all the boys climbing and enjoying. He thought that these rounds are just for fun and these boys are spending their coins, treasuries just for the momentary pleasure. So he simply waited. After that merry-go-round, these boys started to go to the shops to buy toys there. They bought many kinds of toys for 2 paisa each. So these toys were made up of clay, and if they drop it, it will smash into bits. And if any drop of the water fell on it, the color will be fade. So our Hamid wished to have those toys in his hand, just for a moment, not to buy and ready to spend 2 paisa because he already had only 3 paisa in his packet. After that, his friends like Mahmood bought policeman toy, and his friend Nurain bought water carrier, and his friend Mausi bought lawyer toys. And after that toys, they bought all kind of toys. Next, they moved towards to the sweet stall. There, the sweet vendor kept it, that is piled up like a heap of sweets there. They bought it and they relished their sweets and they enjoyed it. But our Hamid did not like to spend his coin for that also. Next, after completing these things, these boys moved across the shop. I mean, there are hardware and jewelry shops. They just crossed the shops and they not wished to buy anything from the hardware and jewelry shops. But Hamid, while crossing the shop, he just see pair of tongs in the hardware shops. He just left stand there and he inquired about the cost of the pair of the tongs. That shopkeeper said, this tongs were not for him. Anyway, this Hamid asked, what is the rate of the pair of tongs? He just simply said 5 rupees. But this Hamid had only 3 paisa in his packet. Anyway, he want to buy this pair of tongs for his granny because he once remembered his granny burnt her fingers in the iron pan while she prepared rotis and chapatis for him. But he finally asked the shopkeeper how much it cost. He said finally 5 rupees he can give it for him. He simply asked 3 paisa whether the shopkeeper is ready to give. But while asking the rate, he just moved out of the shop. That is because he is afraid the shopkeeper will scream at him. But here, on the contrary, the shopkeeper called Hamid, not screamed, and finally he gave it for him for 3 paisa. He bought that pair of tongs and he was very happy, and he placed it and kept across his shoulder as if keeping the gun on his shoulder, and he moved along with other boys. The other boys also saw this tongs and they teased Hamid for buying these kind of toys. Immediately, our Hamid threw these tongs on the floor and asked them to drop their toys on the ground. He said, it will not break, tongs will not break, but their toys will break. This is the thing happened. That time, Sami, who bought tambourine toy, she asked to exchange. That is, she bought it for 8 paisa. She asked to exchange it for a pair of tongs. But Hamid denied to exchange and he kept it bravely and he walked to his village. Around 11 o'clock, all the village people returned to their village. And they started their excitement once again. On hearing Hamid's voice, his granny came out of the house and she picked him up and kissed him. And after that she noticed that is having a pair of tongs on his shoulder. She inquired about the tongs. He said he bought it for herself. She immediately started to scold him and scold as stupid. That is, it's already noon. He had not seen anything to eat and drink in the fair. This boy Hamid replied in an injured tone that he had bought this pair of tongs for his grandmother, that because she usually burns her fingers in the iron pan while preparing chapatis for him. This granny had a deeply moved towards Hamid's selflessness. She started to cry. For this wretched woman, this pair of tongs was as precious as sacks full of silver. Okay, child, I think you too moved deeply towards Hamid's selflessness, is it? So, one small moral for you all, that is, you students, you should be always happy and satisfied. What are the things left with you? You should not worry for others things those who are having. Okay, so you live for others' need, not for yours need. Okay, now shall we see few glossary words? It will come in both glossary as well as synonyms. Okay, now shall we go to glossary words and you have to take it as synonyms. Now I will go to few glossary words. Come. First I want to tell about dazzling. Dazzling means extremely bright. Tattered. Tattered in the sense torn. Suburbs, that is outlying area. Galley, in a bright color. That is gapped, starred. That is macuous lips. Open and close your lips nicely to show your enjoyment. Next, relished. Relished in the sense it was enjoyed. Tongs, a tool used to hold the things tightly. Precious, valuable. Rich, unhappy. Along with this glossary words, I'll tell along with this 3 more. We'll consider it for synonyms. Take it for synonyms. That is tambourine. It is a drum. Next, attack. Attack means fight. Next one is perfume. Perfume in the sense scent. Now shall we see few antonyms of this lesson. You note it. Festive. Festive is opposite is sad. Next, excited. Both. Patient, impatient. Thin, stout. Poorly, richly. Soiled, clean. Gaily, simply. Contented, discontented. Mounted, dismounted. Hold, drop. By this, you have to note the synonyms, antonyms in your class note. Along with this, I will give you few exercise questions. That also you note it, ma. Students, the first question I will be going to explain. So, watch it carefully. What did Granny say about Hamid's parents? So, did plus say, said. Granny said that Hamid's father had gone to earn money. She added that his mother had gone to Allah to get lovely gifts for Hamid. This is the thing said by Granny to Hamid. Next question is, write about Hamid in 1 or 2 sentences. Now we want to tell about Hamid. Hamid was 4 years old, Harpan boy. He was thin, poorly dressed, and he was the happiest of all boys around. Next, the third question. How did Hamid's friend enjoy the games in the fair? Mahmoud, Noor and others. Mahmoud bought the toys of policeman. Noor got lawyer. They thought that is they bought the seasoned candy, gulab jamun and also halwa. Next, fourth question. What did Hamid buy at the fair and for whom? Hamid bought a pair of tongs at the fair for his grandmother. So, did plus I bought. Next, fifth question is, why did Granny scold Hamid? It was almost noon time. Hamid did not buy any eatables for him, but he bought a pair of tongs. So, Granny scolded him. By this, I am completing the few exercise questions. Next, I will go through the lesson. So, clearly watch it. Yes, dear students, take your book and go through. I will be going through the lesson. Just you watch it now. It will be easy to read and write. First section. How wonderful and beautiful was the morning of Eid. The trees looked greener, The fields were more festive. The sky had a lovely pink glow. The sun seemed brighter and more dazzling than before. Do we wish the world a very happy Eid? The village was filled with excitement. Everyone was up early to go to the Eidgah. The boys were more excited than the others. They had been talking about it all the time. Finally, the day had come, and now they were impatient. They were taking their treasure out of their pockets, counting and recounting and it before putting it back. Mahmood counted 1, 2, 10, 12. He had 12 coins. Mousin had 1, 2, 3, 8, 9, 15 coins. With this money, they would buy countless things like toys, sweets, paper pipes, rubber balls, and much more. The happiest of the boys was Hamid. He was only 4, thin and poorly dressed. Last year, his father had died of cholera. Then his mother also died. From then, Hamid lived with his old granny Amina and was as happy as a lark. She told him that his father had gone to earn money and that his mother had gone to Allah to get lovely gifts for him. This made Hamid very happy. Hamid had no shoes on his feet. The cap on his head was soiled and tattered. He knew that his father would come back with sacks full of silver and his mother with gifts from Allah. Then he would have more than Mahmood, Mausi, Noore and Sami. Hamid's granny Amina was sad. It was Eid and she did not have even a handful of grains. If only her son were there, it would have been a different kind of Eid. Hamid went to his grandmother and said, "Granny, I'll be the first to get back." "Don't worry." Amina was worried. Other boys were going out with their fathers. How could she let him go to the fair all by himself? Hamid left with the other boys. Hamid was like one with wings on his feet. They ran on ahead of our elders and waited for them under a tree. They reached the suburbs of the town. On both sides of the road were big houses of the rich. In the gardens, mango and lychee trees were full of fruits. Then they came across the stores of the sweet vendors, all decorated so gaily. Every store had sweets piled up in the heaps like mountains. Next we'll see section 2. Soon the roads began to get crowded. Some people were on tongs and icas, some in motor cars, all wearing perfume, all bursting with excitement. The children were calm and contented lot. For village children, everything in the town was wonderful. Whatever caught their eye, they stood and gaped at it with wonder. At last the Eidgah came into view. There were row upon row of worshippers as far as the eye could see. Newcomers lined themselves behind the ones already there. The prayer was over. Men embraced each other. They descended on the sweet and toy vendor stores like an army moving to attack. There was the merry-go-round with wooden elephants, horses and camels. You paid 1 paisa and had 25 rounds of fun. Mahmood and Mausi and Noore and other boys mounted their horses and camels. Hamid watched them from a distance. All he had were 3 paisas. He couldn't part with a third of his treasure for a few miserable rounds. They were soon done with their rides. Then it was the time for the toys. There was a row of stalls on one side with all kinds of toys, soldiers, milkmaids, kings and ministers, water carriers and washerwomen and holy men. Mahmud bought a policeman in khaki with a red turban on his head and a gun on his shoulder. Mohsin bought a water carrier while Nore got a lawyer. Those toys cost 2 paisa each. Hamid had only 3 paisas. How could he buy such expensive toys? If they dropped out of his hand, they would be smashed to bits. If a drop of water fell on them, the color would rain. But he looked at them hungrily and wished he could hold them in his hands for just a moment or two. After the toys, it was sweets. Someone bought seasoned seed candy, other gulab jamuns or halwa. They smacked their lips with relish. Only Hamid was left out. By this, section 2 has been completed. Next, shall we go to section 3? Section 3. I'll be reading. Watch it carefully, ma. Next to the sweet shops, there were a few hardware stores and jewelry shops. The boys were not interested in anything there, so they walked ahead except Hamid. It occurred to Hamid that his granny did not have a pair of tongs. Each time she cooked chapatis, the iron pan burnt her hands. If he bought her a pair of tongs, she would be very pleased. She would never again burn her fingers. It would be a really useful thing to have in the house. So Hamid stopped to look at a pile of tongs at the hardware shop and asked the shopkeeper, "How much for this pair of tongs?" The shopkeeper looked at him and replied, "It is not for you." "Is it for sale or not?" "Why should it not be for sale? It will cost you 6 paisa." Hamid's heart sank. "Tell me the correct price," he said. "All right, it will be 5 paisa. Take it or leave it." Hamid said, "Will you give it to me for 3? Then he walked away, afraid that the shopkeeper would scream at him. But the shopkeeper did not scream. On the contrary, he called Hamid back and gave him the pair of tongs. Hamid carried it on his shoulder as if it were a gun to show it to his friends. Mohsin laughed and said, "Are you crazy? What will you do with the tongs?" Hamid flung the tongs on his ground and replied, "Try and throw your water carrier on the ground. It will break." Mahmud said, "Are these tongs some kind of toy?" "Why not?" replied Hamid. "Place them across your shoulder and it is a gun. Carry them in your hands and it is like a musical instrument carried by singing monks. By tongs like tiger among toys." Sami, who had bought a small tambourine, asked, "Will you exchange them for my tambourine? It is worth 8 paisas." But Hamid would not. The pair of tongs won everyone over to his side. By the way, the village was again filled with excitement. All those who had gone to the fair were back at home. Hamid too returned home. As soon as she heard his voice, Granny Amina ran out of the house, picked him up and kissed him. Suddenly she noticed the tongs in his hand. "Where did you find these tongs?" "I bought them." "How much did you pay for them?" 3 paisas. "You are a stupid child. It is almost noon and you haven't had anything to eat or drink. Couldn't you find anything better than in the fair than this pair of iron tongs?" Hamid replied in an injured tone, "You burn your fingers on the iron pan, so I bought them." Granny was deeply moved by Hamid's selflessness. She started crying. For the rich woman, the pair of tongs was as precious as sacks of silver. This story is written by Munshi Premchand. This is translated and adapted by Umar Rahman. By this I am completing the lesson. So you go through once again and get cleared once again, ma.